Today I'm here with not one but two Audi RS3s. The one to the right of me is a pre-facelift and the one to the left of me is the current model. So I'm going to show you around the exterior differences along with the interior differences, technological advancements and of course something you're all keen to find out, the performance differences. So without further ado, let's accelerate straight into it. Let's start with the exterior design. It's something that you look at every day and something that's really important to you. But both of these models look absolutely spectacular. There's no denying that. But with the latest generation, of course, there's going to be some changes. So let's talk around this. First off, it's more angular as a whole overall design. It's more muscular, it looks more aggressive, certainly in my opinion anyway. You've got a widened single frame grille with that tessellation honeycomb effect, which is also larger too, as opposed to the smaller honeycomb grille. You've also got an extended gloss black grille surround, which is a really clever trick from the Audi design team, making it look more aggressive and more of an open mouth, so to speak. Lower down, you've also got a revised side air intake. These are all finished in high gloss black, and as you can see, you've also got longer air intakes too, which gives you a better aerodynamic package. And something that is super noticeable is the headlights. This previous generation comes fitted with standard LED headlights with those dynamic laser beam indicators which look absolutely brilliant and they provide great visibility. But on the latest generation it comes with something called LED matrix headlights. Now these are absolutely mind-blowing. They split the beam when you're driving, they follow your directional steering, they really do increase your confidence on any road that you're uncomfortable on. And to top it off, this also comes with a gimmick. It's got LED light display which spells RS3 and finishes with a checkered flag. It's a little bit of a gimmick, but what a gimmick it is. Moving on, you've got the amazing bonnet too. This has had a new redesign. It's more muscular, as you can see, with the additional two creases in the hood. But look at this, it's so timeless and clean. Let me know which one you prefer in the comments down below. But let's now go on to the performance side of things. Touching on the performance now, and while the previous generation, it's not slow. It's got a 2.5 5-cylinder petrol engine in there, producing 400 PS, and it'll propel you 0 to 62 in a blistering 4.1 seconds. It's also got 480 newton meters of torque, so it's really punchy and has a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. Now for such a small car, that delivers a phenomenal driving experience, but what is it for the RS3 of the latest generation? Well, let's find out. So with the latest generation of RS3, it is quicker than the previous. Well, it's got to be, but it still carries over the 2.5 5-cylinder petrol engine, producing 400 PS, but the 0 to 60 time is quicker. It's 3.8 seconds on the latest as opposed to 4.1 on the previous. The newton meters of torque is also increased to 500 as opposed to the previous 480. And it also has a higher top speed of 174 miles per hour. Now, which one is better to drive? Well, we'll leave that for you to decide, so do come and book a test drive today. As we move to the rear of the vehicle, you can see that both models share the same DLO, that's daylight opening with a rear privacy glass, which is perfect if you've got a VIP in the family. As for the rear of the vehicle, well, not a lot has changed. There are some subtle differences. As you can see with the latest generation, quite evidently, you've got a high gloss honeycomb effect built into the rear bumper. Both models still share the high gloss black boot spoiler and gloss black rear diffuser with the dual exhaust. But in my honest opinion, I think that the rear diffuser found on the previous generation looks much more aggressive. But as a whole, the latest generation looks much wider and meaner thanks to those flared wheel arches, especially the front, but more on that later when we check out the wheels. And you can also note that the rear light design has changed slightly. The latest generation is a little bit more staggered. But which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments down below. In the alloy department, a lot has changed design-wise. As you can see, on the previous generation, you've got the 19-inch gloss black two-tone arm rotor design, which do look really nice and they're super timeless. It's a wheel design you think about when someone mentions Audi, but on the latest generation, as you can see, you've got like a satin effect on the wheels. It's a 5 split-spoke design, which I think really complements the new RS3 body styling. Now, with the latest generation being slightly longer and taller, that does mean an increase in boot space. The latest generation will give you 321 litres of boot space, whereas the previous will give you 315 litres. It's not that noticeable, but if space counts, then you do need to know that. However, I highly recommend checking out the Sportback model, which will give you a little bit more. Now, probably the most noticeable change is within the interior. So this is the pre-face generation. Now, as you can see, it's very nice. You've got full leather seats with a quilted stitching and RS embossing. You've got a flat bottom steering wheel with Alcantara center grips and a full digital instrument cluster. Though on this model you have got the retractable MMI display, but it does give you all the functions you could ever need, like Bluetooth connectivity, different media functions, and of course navigation. You've got dual zone climate control down below and gorgeous carbon fiber inserts on the really curvy dash. But you've also got a very prominent gear selector, which is really nice when you're really pushing the car, but it's slightly different on the newer generations. Let's jump straight over and check it out. Sitting inside the latest RS3, and while straight off the bat you can see that it's completely different. There's been a drastic redesign. The new dashboard is super angular and streamlined, and it also has an integrated colour touchscreen display, having lots of different functions such as navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you can also set up the vehicle dynamics. Further down you haven't got that prominent gear selector anymore. It's much smaller and it's really easy to use. And of course you've also got the Audi virtual cockpit, which is brilliant, along with a multifunctional leather trimmed steering wheel with all the functions you could ever wish for. But lastly, the seats. They're still just as good as the previous model, providing plenty of comfort and support, and they've still got the iconic RS embossing. So then, I hope this gives you a better overview about the newest RS3 and the previous generation. A lot has certainly changed, but which one are you a fan of? Let me know in the comments down below, and if one does take your fancy, please do arrange a test drive to experience these monsters for yourself. For any further information, please head to our website. Other than that, see you next time.